Welcome to flippingpal. flippingpal is an app that provides you with advanced flipping tools that leverage data-driven price data to identify the most profitable deals for flipping that will keep you ahead of the competition. We have two different tools. We have the cross-round flipping tool, which will give you the best possible deal for every single item in the game. This will go off multiple different realms. So for an example, if you have characters set up on every single realm on your region, it will find the best possible deal across all the different realms that are on your region. This tool will also give you the best realm to sell the item for the highest possible price based on which realms you have in your settings. And also we have a bunch of filters and sorting that you can do to find the perfect items to flip for your flipping style. We also have the premium TSM List Generator, which uses data to make the perfect TSM list for flipping. It also has filters allowing you to make the perfect TSM list for you to use when it comes to flipping. To get started, you want to head over to flippingpal.com and you want to go ahead and click on register now. On this page, you're going to register your account. So add your email and also a password for your account and click on register. You'll get an email to confirm your account. Click the link and it will send you back to the login page. From here, you just want to go ahead and you want to log in, add your email, password, and click on login. Next, you're going to see the subscription page. The subscription is only $5 per month, which is very generous considering how much gold you're going to be able to make from using this tool. You want to click on subscribe, fill out your information. Once you have subscribed, you go ahead and click on access tool. Next, you're going to be on the settings page. On here, you can select your region. So if you're flipping on the US or on EU, you can select your region and then go ahead and click on save or data. And now what you can do from here is you can go to either of the tools. On the top here, you have the cross round flipping tool, and then down the bottom, you have the TSM List Generator. For the TSM List Generator, there is no more settings. There is a few more settings for the cross round flipping tool. If you go ahead and click on cross round flipping tool, it's going to take you to the realm selection page. This is where you can go ahead and you can update your buying realms and also your selling realms. So say for an example, you have characters on only, let's go ahead and deselect them first. But say for an example, you only have characters set up on 3 realms. So you want to go ahead and select these 3 realms, and this will give you deals of these 3 specific realms. You also can have the same realm selected for selling realms, but you do not need to have the exact same. Say for an example, you want to sell on every single realm in the region. You can click on add all realms to selling realms, and this will add all of them for you. And what you can do is you can just buy on these 3 realms and then sell on every single realm on your region. It is completely up to you on how you want to do your flipping, so you can select which realms that you would like for your buying realms and your selling realms. And what you can also do is you can click on add all realms to buying realm and add all realms to selling realms, and this will add all of them. On top of that, we do have a search bar, so if you want to search a specific realm, you can go ahead and do that. Now, if you want to go ahead and remove all of them, you click on remove all realms from buying realms and also click on remove all realms from selling realms. Personally, I have characters set up on every single realm on the US, so I can click on add all realms to buying realms and add all realms to selling realms and click on save or data, and this will save this, and then you can go ahead and you can access the tool. Now I'll show you how it works for the EU because it's a little bit different. So if you go ahead, select EU, save or data, and then click on cross round flipping tool, the chart is going to look a little bit different. Now, the only difference about this is that it's going to have this button right here, which is remove all Russian realms from buying realms and remove all Russian realms from selling realms. When you're flipping on the EU, it can be very annoying having the Russian realms. You need to do a lot of things to actually access these realms and flip on them. So a lot of the times people flipping on EU do not want to have them. So you can go ahead and you can select all of the realms for your buying realms and selling realms. And then you can actually go ahead and click remove all Russian realms for both of these. And if we go ahead and scroll down, all the Russian realms will have been automatically removed from the list. Once you have all the buying realms and selling realms selected that you would like to use, click on save or data, and then you can go ahead and you can access the tool. Let's go over flippingpal and all the features and exactly how it works. So the first thing that you're going to see is the timer up on the top, which says next update in and then has the timer. So flippingpal gets brand new data once per hour, and this is the timer for that. Under that, you're going to see categories. This is where you can select which categories of items that you would like to see. So for example, if you just want to see all of the different recipes, you can go ahead and you can deselect all of the other categories just like this. And now you're just going to see all of the different recipes. And so how flippingpal works is it's going to show you the best possible deal for every single item that meets all of these different filters, categories, and criterias. So that is how the category works. Obviously, you can have multiple categories. So say for an example, if you want to focus on the recipes and the pets, you can go ahead and you can select multiple at once. You can select all of them if you want. It is completely up to you what you select. Now, moving on, we have another drop down, which is for the quality of the items. So for an example, say for example, we are focusing on weapons. We can go ahead and we just want to see the epic weapons. We can go ahead and we can deselect everything else. And now we're just going to see the epic weapons that meet the category. Let's go ahead and put this back to all of them. Now moving on, we have expansions. So for expansions, you can obviously filter out which expansions you would like to see and which ones you wouldn't. So for example, say we just wanted to see all of the weapons because we still just have weapons selected. We want to see all the weapons just from the classic version. So we can go ahead and change this to just classic for the expansion. And now we're going to see all of the items from classic, as you can see. Well, that came out in the classic expansion on retail. We can obviously change this to whatever we want. So we just want to see all of the Shadowlands items. We can go ahead and deselect classic. And now we just see all of the Shadowlands items. So you can go ahead and play around with which expansions you would like to see. Next up, we have the filters. So I've put all of the drop downs for categories, quality, and also expansions to all of them. Now we'll go ahead and we'll check out the filters. So the first filter that you're going to see is filter by sell rate. So sell rate is the number that tells you how quick an item actually sells. So what we can do is we can either use this and drag it across, and this will change the sell rate. As you can see, the items is changing live as we do this. So if you just wanted to focus on items that have a very high sell rate, meaning they're going to sell very quickly, you can go ahead and you can bump this up to whatever number you like. Personally, when I'm doing this, I set this to 0.010. This is a good sell rate and it sells very quickly, and you can still find a bunch of good deals. So you can use this and you can drag it across, or you can just write in the number yourself, or you can click on the arrows and bump this up to whatever number you want it to be at. So what we're going to do is we'll leave this at 0.01, which is 0.010. We can move on to the next filter, and this is filter by sale average. So sale average is the average price the item has sold for over the past 90 days across all the realms on your region. And this is a great number to go off because it's the average price. It's not just realm specific. So what you can do with this is you can bump this up. As you can see, you can scroll this across and you can do this all the way up to 50,000 gold. Now, if we have it set to 50,000 gold, we're only going to see the items that have a sale average over 50,000 gold. So this sale average is like what you see in TSM on sale average. Now let's go ahead and bump this to 10,000. We can also write it in right here if we want to, just like that. Now we're set to 10,000. So we have the sell rate at 0.010, the sell average filter set to 10,000 gold. The next filter that we have is filter by gold profit. And this is going to be the profit in between the buy price that we give right here and also the sell price that we give in this column right here. I will go over all of these different columns and what everything means in the table after we go through these filters. But for example, if we want to bump this up and we only want to see items that give us over 100,000 gold profit, we can go ahead and do so with this filter. Let's go ahead and put this back to default and move on to the next filter. The next filter is filter by max gold buyout. So by default, this is set to gold cap. And this filter right here works with the buy price in this column right here. So for example, say we only have a little bit of gold to get started with flipping, and we don't want to spend over 1,000 gold on each item. We can go ahead and we can set this to 1,000 gold. And it's also going to take in consideration all of these different filters that we already have. So if we bump this one back down for the sale average price, so there's more items. And now we have this set to 1000 gold for the max buyout price. It's only going to show us items that we can buy for below 1000 gold, as you can see right here in this column. Let's go ahead and set these all back to the default and put this one back. And now let's go over the table and how all of this works. So in the very first column, you're going to have a picture of the item. And when you click on this, it will actually send you over to the Wowhead page for the item. So let's go ahead and do that. So once you click it, it's going to send you over to the Wowhead page for that specific item. So you can go ahead and you can click on that and you can learn more about the item that you were looking at if you didn't know already what it actually is. Moving on to the next column, this is going to be item name. So as you can see right here, here is the name of the item. Now what you can do is you can actually click on the name and it's going to copy that. This way you can just head over to the auction house and you can paste it into the auction house, which saves you a lot of time. You don't have to manually write it out. You just copy it, paste it in the auction house, and you're good to go. Moving on to the next column, this is going to be category. This will have all of the categories for the specific items. So for an example, if we're just doing the recipes, let's go ahead and deselect all of these. You're going to see recipes right here in this column. Once again, let's select everything. And let's move over to the next column. The next column is item level. So with item level right here, it's obviously going to tell you the item level of that specific item. Moving on to the next column, that is going to be sell rate. So this is the number that tells you how quick an item is actually sold. The higher the sell rate is, the quicker this item actually sells for. Now what you can do with this column right here, if you click on the name, it will sort this from the highest to the lowest. And as you can see right at the top here, we have all of the highest sell rate items in the game at the moment. Moving on to the next column right here, and this is going to be expansion. Obviously this has all of the different expansions. You can also click on this and it will sort it from the most recent expansion to the oldest expansion. Next we have quality. This will tell you the quality of all of the items. And once again, you can click on this and this will go from the highest quality to the lowest quality. Obviously here's some legendary items that are BOE, and then we've got the epics and so on and so forth. The next column, now I really like this column. So this column will show you the extra stats on the items, and it will also show you if it has a socket on them. Now a cool thing with this column right here, if you click on it, it's going to sort it, and the first that it's going to show you is going to be all of the different speed items, and it will start off with the ones that have speed and a socket. So this is very handy for when you're actually buying plus speed items to flip, and also like current content raid BOEs. You can find ones that have sockets, and the ones with sockets tend to sell for a lot more gold. So if we scroll down right here, there are the ones with speed and a socket, then we have all the ones with speed, and so on and so forth. Moving on to the next column, this is going to be sale average. So this is the average price the item has sold for across all of your realms on your region over the past 90 days. For an example, we just want to see some of the very high value items. What we can do is we can click on this column, and this will sort it from the highest sale average to the lowest sale average. This is very important because you can find some of the most expensive items in the game, and obviously flippingpal gives you the best possible deal for each of these items and tells you which realm and where to buy them from. Moving on to the next column, and this is actually where it starts to get very powerful for flipping. So with this column right here, which is sale average versus buy, when you click on sale average versus buy, it's going to show you the highest percent. And this is the sale average price, so this price right here, versus the buy price, which is in this column right here. Moving on to the next column, you're going to see the sell versus buy. And now how this works is that we give you a price which is the best possible price to sell that item for in this column right here. And we give you a realm where to sell it on. And then with the buy price and the buy realm, this will tell you the best possible price you can buy it at and which realm to buy it off. Now if this says 0 gold, this means it is posted for silvers, so under 1 gold, in between 1 copper and 1 gold. If we scroll down, we can go ahead and see these ones start to be 1 gold, there's one here for 75 gold, and so on and so forth. So that's how this column works, and this also goes off the percent of the sell versus the buy price. And now with this, with these prices right here that you see, the percent and the gold amount, it takes into consideration the 5% auction house cut when it calculates these profits. Moving on to the next column, this is going to be the sell price. I think actually what we'll do first is I'll tell you the buy price and the buy round first, and then we'll head over to the sell price column and the sell round column. So with this column right here, the buy price, this will be the price, the cheapest possible price you can buy each item for, and the column next to it is going to be the buy realm, where to actually buy it from. So it gives you the price and it gives you the realm to go ahead and buy it off. And what you can do is you can click on the buy price column, and this is going to sort it from the lowest to the highest. So if we scroll down, you can see 1 gold, 2 gold, and so on and so forth, which is super powerful if you want to snipe some items for very, very cheap. Moving on to the buy realm. This obviously tells you the realm where you can buy this item from, and obviously with the price from the buy price column. Now, a cool thing that you can do with the buy realm column is if you click on this, it's going to sort this in alphabetical order. So for an example, say we wanted to buy all of the deals of this specific realm first, we can go ahead and we can see all the deals for this realm. This way, when you're buying items, you can buy all of these really good deals from this one realm. Once you're done buying the items from this one realm that you're already logged into, you can go ahead and then you can move to the next realm. This saves a lot of time instead of buying them on all different realms and constantly having to log into a different realm just to buy one item. With this, you can use it and you can go ahead and you can buy all of the good deals from the one realm and then move on to the next realm. Now, when you hover over it, some realms have connected realms, meaning there is more than one realm that shares the same auction house. So this will actually tell you all of the realms that share on this cluster. And a cool thing that you can do with this column is you can click, and this will go ahead and it will actually copy the names of those realms. So you can go ahead and you can paste them into a spreadsheet to find out what your character is on that cluster. Or if it's a single realm, you can just go ahead and you can copy it and then paste that straight into the login screen on the search bar, and you can go into that realm right away. Now, moving back over to the sell price and the sell realm columns. This is going to be for the sell price. It's going to give you the price that you can sell the item for the best possible price for the deal. And it also is going to give you which realm you want to go ahead and sell that on for the most amount of gold. What you can do with this is, well, first of all, it actually takes into consideration the 5% auction house cut when you actually hover over it. So when you're not hovering over it, it won't have the auction house 5% cut calculated into it. But if you want to see that, you just hover over it and you're going to see price after the auction house cut when you actually would sell this item. Another thing that you can do with this is you can click on it and it's going to sort it from the highest price to the lowest price. So there's a bunch of items right here that you can post with gold capped, and it will just get lower and lower in price. And then once again, what you can do with the sell realm, if you want to go ahead and you want to sort that alphabetically, this way you can, for an example, if you want to post all your items on one specific realm at once that are the best possible deals, you can go ahead and you can do that. And just like the buy realm column, if you click on it, it's going to copy the name of all of the realms that are in that cluster, or if it's a single realm, it will just copy that one realm name. So you can go ahead and paste that into the login screen, just like the buy realm column. Another thing with the table, if you go ahead and you click anywhere on one of the items, so the row for the item, it will highlight it. This way, say for an example, if you had to go over to Wowhead or you went over to in-game, you can come back and you can keep track of where you were and which item you were currently buying, because it will be highlighted because you would have clicked on it. There are many different ways that you can filter and you can sort items with flippingpal to find the best possible flips that suit your flipping style. But I'll go ahead and I'll give you a few example methods that you can go ahead and try out. So first of all, the first method, let's do a very broad and easy method, and let's just go ahead and have everything selected. So all the categories, the qualities, and all the expansions will have all of the filters set to default. And let's go ahead and click on sale average versus buy. And what this will do is it's going to sort the best possible deals from the buy price versus the sale average. And we can go ahead and we can see right here, there's a bunch of items that are selling for literally silvers on the auction house, so below 1 gold. And as you can see, we have the sell price right here that we can sell it on if we want to sell it on the best possible realm that has the highest possible price, or we can go off the numbers right here, which will be the buy price versus the sell average. And as you can see, all of these are great deals. And now it will start off from the highest percent and it'll work its way down to the lower percent. So we can go ahead and we can start scrolling down and we could buy all of these items. Like picking these up, like we can pick this one up for 1 gold and it has a sell average of 3,837 gold. It also has a realm that we can post it on for 7,185 gold. So we can go ahead and keep scrolling down. And this is a great way to get some really cheap items that have a very good turnover price. As you can see, some of these are only 5 gold and it has a sale average of 5,000 gold. And it also, if we wanted to post on the best possible realm, we could post it for 146,000 gold on this specific realm. So this is a great way to find some really good deals. And as you can see, they're very cheap to pick up. However, say for an example, we're someone that already has millions of gold and we just want to focus on seeing the big items that we can sell for a lot of gold profit. What we could do next is let's go ahead and bump up the filter of the sale average to 50,000 gold. And then let's go ahead and click on the column for sale average versus buy. Now, all of these items are going to have a sale average over 50,000 gold. So we can see we can pick up these boots right here. We can pick these up for 2,500 gold on this realm, and we can actually resell them for 590,000 gold on Silver Moon. So on this cluster right here, and then versus the sale average price, it's actually 191,000 gold. So picking this up for only 2.5k and then reselling it for 519k is a crazy deal. So this is a great way to find some items that have a very high value. Obviously, they're all over 50,000 gold. Another thing that you would want to look at though is probably this sell rate. As you can see, some of these have a very low sell rate. Now we could obviously scroll down and just look at them and pick the ones, for example, that have a higher sell rate. What we can do with the filters, say for example, we only want to see the ones that are, let's bump it up all the way to 0.010. And now, once again, let's go ahead and sort this from the sale average versus the buy price. And now we're going to see items that have a really good sell rate and that also are over 50,000 gold for the sale average. So these are like quick selling items that also have a very high value, over 50,000 sale average. So this is where you can find some of your really expensive flips that can make you a lot of gold. Like a lot of gold. As you can see, then we can keep scrolling down and there's a bunch of really good deals. Another thing though, say for an example, we don't want to focus on super expensive items that have a sale average over 50,000 gold. Say for example, we're happy to have items that are over 10,000 gold. Let's go ahead and set this to 10,000. And now what we can do, anything under 10,000, it will not show us for the sale average. And let's go ahead and bump this up to, let's say, a pretty high sell rate, so 0.015. So now with this search right here, it's only showing us items that have over 10,000 gold for the sale average and also a sell rate of 0.015. And if we go ahead and sort the sale average versus buy column, it's going to show us the best possible deals first. Now, if you're someone that wants to see very quick turnover, what we could do for that is we can go ahead, let's bump the filter for the sale average down to 500 gold, and let's bump this up to, let's really bump this up. Say we want to see items with a sale rate over 0.1. So this would really look like this on TSM, 0.100 basically. So let's go ahead and let's do the sale average versus buy column and sort this from the highest to the lowest. And now this is going to be items that sell extremely quickly. So your turnover rate on these will be very quick. Now I know a lot of people like to flip items that sell very quickly. They don't like holding on to the items. They like to buy them and try to sell them as quick as possible. And this is a great way to do that. As you can see, we can pick up some of these deals right here. We can pick up this ring that has a crazy sell rate right here of 0.102. We pick this up for 3 gold and we could repost it on this round for 3,555 gold. We have another piece right here. We can pick this up for 5 gold and we could repost it for 25,000 gold on this round cluster. So this is a great way to find some of those very quick selling items with a very quick turnover. Say for an example, we only want to buy items that we can get over 100,000 gold profit from. So we can go ahead and we can bump this up to 100,000 gold. And now all of these deals that are showing from the buy price versus the sell price is going to be over 1,000 gold profit. So we can go ahead and we can look through these items and see what is actually worth flipping that meets those criteria. This is a great way to find some of the items that have a really good profit margin over 100,000 gold. Obviously, you do want to take into consideration the sale average price. As you can see, like this right here is you're still getting a negative percent, even though you can actually buy it on this round and then repost on this round for a lot of gold profit. The buy price versus the actual sale average is still negative on this item. But if we scroll down, we can see, for an example, these ones that are in the green right here, we'll be able to sell them versus the buy price versus the sell price over 100,000 gold profit. And on top of that, it's also going to give us profit on the sale average price, which sale average price is a good price to go off because that's on average what the items are actually selling for across all the realms on your region. Obviously, each realm has their own market and their own prices, but on average, it's a good number to go off. So what we could even do is we could sort this once again from sale average versus buy. And this is obviously, once again, only items that will give us over 100,000 gold versus the buy price and obviously the sell price that it gives us. Okay, now let's be a bit more picky. Say for an example, we just want to be flipping at the moment the War Within recipes. So we can go ahead and we can deselect all of the other expansions except the War Within. We can leave the qualities to all of them. And then let's go ahead and deselect everything except the recipes, because the recipes are a great market in the War Within. So this is a way that you can do this. Now this will show you all of the recipes just from the War Within. Now we can start doing some more filters to them. So by the default, with no filters selected, we can go ahead and see some of the deals right here. Now if we want to sort this from the best possible deals versus the sale average versus buy, we can do that obviously. Now we can see we can pick this up for 7 gold and it has a sale average of 577 gold, which is a very big percent for profit. We can also see we can sell it on this round for close to 15,000 gold. So picking up for 7 gold and reposting it for about 15,000 gold is an amazing profit. And keep in consideration, this item has a very high sell rate. Now, for an example, say we don't want to mess around with the War Within recipes that aren't over the sale average of, let's say, 5,000 gold. We can go ahead and we can put that in. Let's sort this from highest to lowest once again. So now this is only showing us recipes from the War Within that also are over 5,000 gold for the sale average price, which is very good recipes to be flipping. So we can go ahead and look through these, and there are some amazing deals that it is showing right now. Now we can mix this up even a bit more. Say for an example, we don't have much gold to actually go ahead and flip. We don't want to spend over, let's say we don't want to spend over 1,000 gold for these recipes. We can go ahead and we can select this filter. So filter by max gold buyout. And as you can see, all of the buyout prices are going to be below 1,000 gold. We can sort it once again. We can either sort it from sale average versus buy, or we can do it from the buy versus the sell price and get the best possible deals. Another thing that we could do if we don't have much gold to actually flip, we can click on the buy price column, and this will sort it from the lowest ones to the highest. This way we can buy all of the very cheap ones. Now obviously this keeps in consideration all of the different filters and sorting things that we have selected, and we can go through and buy all of the cheapest ones. Well, for an example, say we just want to buy all of the best deals for the recipes on one specific realm at a time. We can see, well, based off our criterias and filters that we've put in, there is 2 on Area 52 that we could buy. So we could just log into this one realm and we can go ahead and buy both of these. We can move on to the next round, buy these 3, and so on and so forth. But as you can see, there is just hundreds of different ways you can filter to find all of the best deals that you're looking for. I'll show you actually a pretty cool one. So for an example, we already just have the War Within selected for the expansion. Let's go ahead and set this to armor and weapons. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to have a look for plus speed items. These have been great to flip. So what we can do is we can click on the column, which is extra stats, and this will show us all of the items that are from the War Within that are in the weapons and armor category, and it will show all the ones with plus speed on them. And first it will show ones that have plus speed ender socket. So these are like the holy grail when it comes to plus speed items for people that have that are buying them for like plus speed sets for like their druid for farming and whatnot. So the ones with the socket, they sell for a lot more because they're the holy grail, because you can actually put crit on them and that will increase your movement speed with the long strider, but so on and so forth. But as you can see, this is a great way. Now, what we're looking at right here, we're actually seeing some of the current BOEs from the raid. For an example, if we don't want to see them because we just want to flip like the normal BOEs, they're the ones that you flip when you're actually selling plus speed items. Let's go ahead and let's put the max buy price all the way down to, let's say 2,000 gold, because I sell my plus speed items for around 30,000 to 50,000 gold each. Now what we can do is we can sort this and go even a bit more in depth. We can sort this from the lowest. So now what we can see is this is all of the items that have the lowest possible price, but we want to have the ones with plus speed on them. So we can go ahead and we can select this column right here. And now this is going to be ordered once again. It's going to go off the price. So all the ones that have speed and a socket, it's going to have them, as you can see right here, from the lowest price to the highest. And then once we get into just plus speed on them, it's going to go from the lowest price, as you can see right here. So we can pick up some of these War Within BOEs that have plus speed on them. Look, 75 gold, and I resell these all day long for 30,000 gold. 75 gold, 90 gold, 95 gold, 97 gold. It's absolutely insane way to flip the plus speed items for the War Within. Now obviously there is many different ways that you can do this, and I would be here for hours showing you all of the different methods. You obviously want to do this yourself and find the best filters and sorting that actually is going to be good for your style of flipping. So play around with this. There's many different ways to find extremely good deals. And like I mentioned, what flippingpal does for every single item is it will just show the best possible deal for that one item. So with the lowest price to buy it at and the highest price to sell that item at. Next up, I'm going to show you the flippingpal TSM List Generator. And this tool is extremely powerful when it comes to making a proper TSM list that is based off real data. This is what the list generator looks like. Basically, you have the categories. You can go ahead and select which categories you want to show. You have expansions, so you can select and deselect which expansions you would like to show. For the filters, we have the sell rate. We also have sell average. We also have the region market value and the historical price. The region historical. And basically what you can do with all of these filters is you can go ahead and you can put together the perfect list that you want. Say for an example, we want to do all the different categories except we don't want to have the pets in there, for an example. And we want to have them, let's say every single expansion we want to have. Now what we can do is we can go ahead and play around with the filters. Say we just want items that have over 10,000 sale average. And we want to also have them over, let's go 0.010 sell rate, so they have a quick sell rate, so we're not sitting on the items. And then we can go ahead and, as you can see, there's going to be every single one of the items will be selected automatically. And if you want to remove some from your TSM list that you're making, you can go ahead and click on them. And then basically once you have the perfect list together with all the items that you want, you can go ahead and you can click on copy TSM string, and this will give you a TSM string that you can paste into TSM and import into TSM in game, and this will have all of the items that meet these criteria. I can give you another example right here. Say for example, we just want a list that has all of the recipes. Let's go ahead and deselect all of these different categories except recipes. We can have all of the different expansions if we want. Say for example, we just want to make a list that has all of the War Within recipes. You can go ahead, deselect all of the other expansions, and now as you can see, all that is left is all the recipes from the War Within. We can go ahead and make a group just with all the War Within recipes. However, another thing that we could do, say for example, we just want to have the expensive War Within recipes. We can go ahead and we can bump this up to whatever we like. Let's go ahead and put this to, let's say anything over 10,000 gold. We can go ahead and set that to 10,000. Now it's only going to have the War Within recipes that are over 10,000 gold, and also the sell rate over 0.010, as you can see right here. So all the big boy recipes from the War Within. Another cool thing that you can do is, let's go ahead and set this back to all of the expansions, and let's go ahead and do all of the categories, and say we want to have items that only have a crazy good sell rate. Let's go ahead and bump this up. As you can see, all of these are extremely high sell rate items, so you'll be able to sell them very quickly. So you can make a group that has all of the quick selling items. We can bump this down a bit lower, and if we scroll down the bottom, we can see how many pages it is currently showing. So there is 2 pages, each page has 100 items. So these are like all the quickest selling items that are in the game. We can go ahead and make a list from them. Obviously, we can do a bit more sorting. We can sort by the columns. So for an example, if we actually wanted to remove some of these items, say we want to remove the ones that have just a random item that we don't want in there. Say we don't want this item, we can go ahead and remove that. Or we could go to the last page because we've sorted it from sell rate. We can have a look at some of these less quicker selling ones, and we could remove those from the list and then go ahead and make the list. There's a bunch of different ways you can go ahead and use this. Another thing that we could do if we wanted to is, let's set this back to the lowest, back to default, and then let's sort this from the highest sale average price. And then if we just want these really expensive ones, but we don't want some of the less expensive ones, we go to the last page and we can start unselecting some of the items that we do not want. There's a bunch of things you can do with this, but once you make the list, you basically click on copy and then import it to TSM. If you have any questions, just head to the bottom of our website and click on Discord, and we will help you in the Discord. In the Discord, our team will help you out with any questions that you have about flippingpal. And on top of that, we also have a channel for a setup guide to set everything up, and also a user guide on how to use both of the tools from flippingpal. On top of that, we have channels where you can ask for help. You can also share your success stories, see other people's success stories, share your sales and things like that in the Discord channels. On top of that, if you need any help with flipping, you can go ahead and you can ask the team and they will help you out with any questions that you have about flipping in retail World of Warcraft. So if you want to have a competitive advantage when it comes to flipping, I highly recommend getting flippingpal today.